Welcome to the Shreveport Connection. This video is on your TNA Bound for Glory spoilers that just happened on Sunday night. And also other things going on with Impact Wrestling. TNA has its what's called My First Day with starring Manic in the first episode, and a YouTube link on that. TNA wrestler Grado responded to Finn Balor posting a photo of himself outside TNA headquarters. As the photo will also have a reflection of Balor taking a picture of Grado also at the WWE headquarters. Post a link there for as they were in Nashville for NXT and what have you. Global Force Wrestling touted the release of Jeff Hardy's new music album. Of course, his band is called Peroxy Wagen. The new album is called Within the Cygnus Riff. Now available for purchase through iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play. And you can also order a physical copy of the album by checking the link. Or you can go to their website, peroxywagenrocks.com. And I'll also post the other links for the iTunes and Amazon and Google Play. The track list has 13 songs. First track was a Reflection. Number 2, Submission. Number 3, Obtuse. Number 4, Presence. Number 5, Rebel Yes. 6, Metal Bed. 7, Metaphors. 8, Scenario. 9, Obsolete. 10, Humans Gone. 11, Physical Else. Or Else. Number 12, Distance. And finally, 13, Playsate. Playsate, how you pronounce that. You can also get a copy of at GFW events, maybe even TNA live events as well. While promoting Bound for Glory, Jeff Hardy mentioned that he is not only recovering from his broken leg from his dirt bike a few months back, but he's also dealing with a torn PCL at his knee. Hardy mentioned that he's trying to do rehab instead of having surgery. I'll post a picture of the x-ray. It's a website where you can see the x-ray on Instagram. October the 2nd news. Several correspondents at the WWE NXT live event in Nashville sent word that James Storm was sitting at ringside. Dark match before the Bound for Glory pay-per-view saw Sean Schultz defeat John Skyler, who played the heel in the match. Bound for Glory results. A video package opened the show and focused on the various TNA champions. Josh Matthews and D'Angelo Dinero checked in on commentary from ringside. And they tease a third commentator that never showed up during the pay-per-view. Matthews laid it on thick by saying the greatest roster ever assembled takes center stage. Our first matchup, Tigre Uno versus Andrew Everett versus DJZ versus Manic in an Ultimate X match for the X Division title. Christy Hemme handled the in-ring introductions for the title match. TJ Perkins is unmasked, yet was still introduced as Manic. Matthews stated that Everett is from Carolinas. DJZ had the first big dive over the top and drew a big TNA chant. He also came up holding his hip. Tigre Uno followed up with a dive. Then Everett popped the crowd again with a shooting star press off the middle rope and onto all three opponents on the floor. Uno had a chance to climb the cables to retrieve the belt, but he chose to perform a 450 splash onto DJZ on the floor. Didn't make any sense, but the live crowd chanted TNA. Manic made a play for the title, but Everett was standing on the cable and kicked him down. Uno raced over and eventually kicked Everett off the cables. Uno removed the belt to win the match. Tigre Uno defeated Andrew Everett, DJZ, and Manic in an Ultimate X match to retain the X Division title. The Hurricane walked to the ring as Uno is still celebrating his win Helms walked over and looked down at Uno, and then they both looked to the crowd. Helms touched the X Division title belt, then shook Uno's hand and raised his arm and clapped for him. Footage aired of EC3 and Tyrus, then Drew Galloway, and finally Matt and Jeff Hardy arriving in the building from earlier in the day. EC3 walked onto the stage, which is a stone set with 2 big screens. EC3 boasted that he is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion momentarily until you hear the results of the new champion. EC3 claimed that there was a conspiracy against him and his title reign. He spoke about how Galloway fights for wrestling and Hardy fights for family. EC3 said today he will stand up, and tonight they will die because he's fighting for the greatest cause of all, me. Once about himself, EC3 noted that he debuted at Bound for Glory 2 years ago. He said he's beyond greatness. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? As EC3 asked. Then he let out an unenthusiastic woo, Flair style, and then dropped the mic and left. Bound for Glory Gauntlet Battle Royal was up next for a future TNA title shot. First 2 entrants were Mr. Anderson and Jesse Goddard. Eli Drake checked in as the 3rd entrant. Then Al Snow entered as the 4th man to a nice ovation. Snow brought Head with him. And the 5th entrant was Aidan O'Shea, who came out with a cigar in his mouth as an Irish music played. Matthews noted that O'Shea, who works in pants, a wife beater, tank top, and suspenders as a brawler. Robbie E was the 6th entrant with no eliminations yet. First elimination occurred when Snow hit Drake with Head and then sent him over the top rope in horribly unrealistic fashion. Still, the live crowd popped. Mahabali Shera entered to no reaction and did his stupid dance. He got all the other wrestlers joining him and doing the stupid dance. Shea did the dance, but ended the misery by punching Shera. Moments later, Shera eliminated O'Shea, who had a very forgettable TNA debut. The 8th entrant was Tyrus. The 9th entrant was Chris Melendez. Tyrus eliminated Snow, then Melendez, then Shera. 10th entrant in the match was Tommy Dreamer, who received one of the best reactions of the night in obligatory ECW chants. Dreamer wore yellow polka dot pants and drew some punches and elbows Dusty Rhodes style. Abyss was the 11th entrant in the Battle Royal. Abyss then chokeslammed Robbie E, then squared off with Tyrus. They grabbed one another by the throat. Even though very little time had passed, the Pope sat on the commentary and called for his music to play. Pope entered the ring and by Abyss, and Tyrus glared at him, so De Niro chose to eliminate himself. Abyss performed a black hole slam on Dreamer, then Tyrus hit the Abyss from behind and followed it by clotheslining him over the top rope to eliminate him. Robbie E was eliminated by Goddard. Anderson hit the mic check on Dreamer and eliminated him, which drew some boos. Final 3 were Anderson, Goddard, and Tyrus. Anderson hit the mic check on Goddard and threw him over to eliminate him, so the match was down to Anderson and Tyrus. Tyrus ended up pinning Anderson to win the Gauntlet Battle Royal. After the match, Christy Hemme entered the ring to interview Tyrus. EC3 came out and hugged Tyrus. Then he took the mic from Hemme. As EC3 said, Tyrus now gets to pick which title to challenge. And he assumed that EC3 assumed that he would challenge for the TNA tag titles. Tyrus said he worked hard and did it himself. Tyrus said EC3 is the reason he is there, and he's taken a lot of bullets for him. Tyrus said he did this on his own. He's not going for the other titles. Tyrus said he's coming for the Heavyweight World Championship, as EC3 looked disappointed. Video package sets up the tag title match. The Wolves versus Brian Myers and Trevor Lee for the TNA tag titles. Lee and Myers attacked the champions before the bell. They tagged in and out, working over Richards. Edwards was able to tag in, and the Wolves regained control. They controlled Myers' arm. Lee was able to tag in and nailed Richards with the inside out for a 2 count. Challengers cut the ring off on Richards, beating him in the corner. Edwards tagged in and finally nailed a leaping kick on Myers as he was on the corner and drilled him for a 2 count. Lee tried to interfere, but was tossed out. The Wolves double-teamed Myers for a 2 count. Edwards went up top. Lee distracted him, allowing Myers to nail Edwards off the apron and sent him flying to the floor. Lee attacked Richards and slammed him down to the floor. Edwards battled back from a 2-on-1, but Myers swarmed over him and trapped him in a leg lock. That allowed Lee to cover Edwards for a 2 count and cinch in a chin lock. Edwards fought his way out, but Myers tagged back in and cut him off before he could tag Richards. Then he locked in a chin lock. Edwards tried to fight out, but was driven back into the challenger's corner. They worked him over, but he finally fought free and nailed a double Rana on the challenger before making the tag. Richards hit the ring and battered him with kicks. Davey nailed a handspring into a kick to the head on Lee for a 2 count. He went for a top rope double stomp, but missed. He rolled through and nailed an exploder on Lee, and as Lee went to the floor, Richards went to dive, but Myers tripped him. The GFW crew went for a double suplex on Richards, but Edwards saved him, and they sent the challenger to the floor before nailing stereo dives to the outside. Richards nailed a double stomp on Lee, but Myers made a save. They went back and forth with some great near falls. Richards hit Myers hard into the railing on the floor. Lee was nailed as he was on top. Richards tried to set something up, but Myers nailed him. Myers ended up crouched and sitting on the top. Edwards hit a Rana into the ring, and Davey Richards nailed a superplex on Lee, then pulled him up and nailed a brainbuster as Edwards super kicked Lee for the pinfall. Backstage, Jeremy Borash interviewed Drew Galloway, who spoke about battling through highs and lows during his career. He closed the promo by saying he's not just willing to do whatever it takes to win the TNA title, he's willing to kill himself. King of the Mountain title match, Bobby Lashley versus Bobby Roode. Lashley backed Roode into the corner, but they broke clean. They went back and forth with some nice action. Lashley caught Roode with clothesline and nailed a shoulder block into the turnbuckles. Lashley nailed a standing vertical suplex and set up for a spear. Roode leapfrogged it and went for the Roode bomb, but Lashley avoided it and they faced off. The idea was that they knew each other very well. The crowd chanted for Bobby. That made me laugh. Richard, as a reporter called it, named Richard Triunfo. Lashley nailed a nice German suplex. Roode mounted a comeback and nailed a suplex. He nailed the blockbuster off the ropes for a 2 count. Lashley made a comeback and sent Roode to the floor. He followed Roode and smacked his face into the mat. He brought Roode back in the ring and worked him over with elbows. Roode kicked him off and tried to leap off the ropes, but was caught and power slammed him. Lashley set up for a spear and drilled it, scoring a 2 count. Roode caught him with a Roode bomb for a 2 count. Roode and Lashley traded blows. Roode avoided one and cinched in the crossface. Lashley stood up and escaped, locking in a Kimura on Roode, and he was in an abdominal stretch. Roode rolled through and locked back in the crossface. Lashley powered out and hit Roode with his own finisher. The Roode bomb for another close 2 count, which was a nice sequence. Roode came back with a spear. Roode went to the top, but was slammed off the top. Roode avoided the spear and went for the Roode bomb, but Lashley avoided it. Roode finally nailed it and scored the pinfall. And after that, I'll show a pic of what happened after the match. They shook hands. So winner is still King of the Mountain champion Bobby Roode. Backstage, Jeremy Borash interviewed Matt Hardy, who said he thinks tonight is a night for him. He spoke about how his life has been an emotional roller coaster. He said anyone who knows this story knows how much this means to him. He spoke about being born 100 miles away in Cameron, North Carolina, and how he and his brother wanted to be tag team champions just once. He said they set individual goals and set out to be singles world champions. Matt said he's so proud of Jeff. He said he can't think of a better place to win his first singles world title match other than North Carolina. Matt noted that his father, wife, and son were all in the building, and his brother will be the special referee. He said his dream will become a reality when he becomes TNA champion. Footage aired of Earl Hebner being inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame at Saturday's live event. Billy Corgan made his entrance and spoke about how he was given the honor of inducting Earl into the Hall of Fame. Corgan set up a Hebner video package. The video featured various TNA personalities and Earl's son and fellow TNA referee Brian Hebner congratulating him. In the ring, Corgan introduced Earl Hebner, who walked to the ring in his referee gear to a nice reaction. A video package aired of how it became to Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong. When that match was up next, and Earl Hebner was the referee. Kim's husband, celebrity chef Robert Irvine, was in the crowd. Kim and Kong seated on the top rope and went for a hurricane rana, but Kong didn't budge and Kim crashed and burned. Kong followed up with a splash from the ropes for good near fall. Kong went to ringside and grabbed a chair, but Irvine reached out and stopped her from taking it. Hebner told Irvine to sit back down. Then Irvine told him to do his job. As they bickered, Kong performed an implant buster on two chairs at ringside. Later, Kong grabbed Kim by the throat while Kim was standing on the second rope. Kim performed an eat defeat from that position and then rolled through to get the win. And retained the TNA Knockouts title. Backstage, Borash interviewed Jeff Hardy, who wore black and white face paint for his role as special referee. The video package sets up the next match, Kurt Angle versus Eric Young. Before the match, Eric Young cut a promo and once again referred to himself as God. He gave Angle a chance to leave or have his career ended forever. Angle said that that's why you're not having a regular wrestling match. Angle said it was a no DQ match and it would start immediately. Angle hit Young with a mic to start the match. Angle and Young fought into the crowd back inside the ring. Young performed a pile driver on Angle, who sold it by rolling to ringside and holding his neck as EMTs checked on him. Simon Diamond got his moment on camera since he wasn't in the Battle Royal. The doctor informed the referee that he was calling the match off. Young then attacked the doctor and then Simon Diamond, the referees, and Angle himself. Young brought Angle back in the ring. Matthews used a somber voice while saying that someone else needs to come out. We know it won't be Pope since he showed everyone that he's a complete wussy in the Battle Royal earlier. Young picked up a chair and swung it at Kurt Angle's head. As Angle appeared to block it with his hands, Young went for a pile driver on the floor, but Angle countered it with a German suplex. Back inside the ring, Young tried to kick Angle, who caught his leg and then flipped him off. Angle performed 3 German suplexes, then lowered the straps on his singlet and played to the crowd. Angle performed the Angle slam for a 2 count at 9 minutes 20 seconds in. Young came back to perform the top rope elbow drop onto the back of Angle's neck. Young got a 2 count, but Angle kicked out. Scariest moment of the match, Young tried to position Angle on the ropes, but Angle fell and appeared to land on his head. Oops. Young went for a top rope pile driver, but Angle fought free and applied the ankle lock. Young reached the ropes, but there were no rope breaks by stipulation of the match as Young tapped out. Kurt Angle defeated Eric Young in the no DQ match. A Drew Galloway video package aired in some production glitches. Matthews apologized for the technical issues, and then it introduces everybody for the main event. EC3 versus Drew Galloway versus Matt Hardy in a 3-way dance for the TNA title with Jeff Hardy as a special referee. Matt walked over and stomped his foot in front of Tyrus. Then Jeff threw Tyrus out. This got a good reaction from the crowd, even though Tyra shrugged it off. At 4 minutes in, EC3 threw really nice drop kicks at both opponents. Later in the match, EC3 set up Galloway for a pile driver on part of the ring steps, but Galloway broke free and slammed EC3 on the steps instead. Three guys chanted, "Holy shit," back inside the ring. EC3 shoved Matt into Jeff. Matt hit a side effect and had a pin, but Jeff was down and didn't make the count. Jeff recovered and countered a backslide. Galloway performed his future shock DDT on Matt, but EC3 tossed him out. EC3 covered Matt, and Jeff countered fairly, but Matt kicked out at 2. EC3 still bitched at Jeff. EC3 ended up suplexing Hardy from the ring apron and onto Galloway, who was lying on a table, which put both baby faces through the table. Back inside the ring, EC3 got a near fall and then set up for his finisher on Matt, but Galloway returned and clotheslined him. Later, EC3 hit a double one percenter. EC3 covered Galloway, who kicked out. EC3 then covered Matt, who kicked out. Pope praised Jeff for calling it down the middle and delivering fair counts. EC3, who had a bloody lip, shoved Hardy. EC3 kicked Galloway low and then told Jeff to disqualify him, but Jeff didn't bite one bit. EC3 then introduced a chair, but Jeff took it from him. EC3 slapped Jeff, and then Jeff decked Ethan with a chair and then smacked it over his back. Jeff laid Ethan out, and this led to Matt laying out Drew for the win and winning the TNA title. After the match, Matt celebrates in the ring with his wife and baby, also with his dad. Jeff brought in the dad in the ring to continue the celebration. Then we see Ethan go backstage screaming at Dixie Carter and John Gabrick. He decks Gabrick, sending him over a table, and gets in Dixie's face. Ethan then storms off through the backstage area as we go back to the Hardy party in the ring. Battle for Glory goes off the air with Hardy celebrating. And then Matt Hardy defeated EC3 and Drew Galloway in a three-way to win the title. There'll be a video of it, probably by pictures, from what I've seen there. And during the pay-per-view, Dixie Carter confirmed and announced that Tigre Uno did separate a shoulder during the exhibition match. And she comments at TNA Tigre Uno XT separated his shoulder during the hashtag Ultimate X match and still finished to retain the hashtag Exhibition title. Hashtag unbelievable, as though the TNA Exhibition champion Tigre Uno suffered a separated shoulder in the Sunday night Ultimate X win. He actually had to be helped down from the cables by 3 TNA crew members. New TNA World Heavyweight Champion Matt Hardy gave a post-show speech after Battle for Glory went off the air and continued the celebration with his family, the TNA babyfaces, except for Kurt Angle, who also came to the ring to join in the celebration. Angle did congratulate Hardy by Twitter at Real Kurt Angle. Congratulations to at Matt Hardy Brand for winning the at Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight title at hashtag BFG pay-per-view. Well deserved. TNA's first storyline with the new World Heavyweight Champion, Matt Hardy, has him banned from Impact Wrestling for the ongoing future. As in the video link, Ethan Carter III says his attorney has obtained an injunction against TNA President Dixie Carter, Matt, and Bound for Glory special referee Jeff Hardy. Ethan says that there is a conspiracy against him. He says the injunction will prevent Hardy from being on Impact Wrestling until further notice, and says justice will be served. And again, that link. Thanks for viewing. That concludes my report on the Impact Wrestling pay-per-view. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one more video. By the way, if you don't know, you better call me, bro.